Walking these streets, shadows fall, lost in a world, echoes call, searching for light, voices true, St. James Church in the heart of the blue. Chains, singing new names, pushing through the night, feeling small, seeking the answers stall, windows of gray, stained with hue.
Yes.
Green. Yep. Green. Okay. Green. Welcome to our 75th anniversary conversations. We're here with Marissa and Andrea, Wilk, and talking about how you guys grew up in the church. So you guys were kind of born into this church, right?
Yeah. We. I think we were here like the first week after we were born. Like, you're not, first month after, whenever my mom was out of the hospital and stuff. So yeah, we just we got baptized when we were like 5 months old, and then we're just here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. It was like, it was just kind of normal. Like, we got to be 10, and then we're like, oh yeah, this is something that not everybody, I guess, is born into a church, and it just kind of became something that
part of the routine.
Yep.
It helped having Laura older too, because it was
so
like,
you have an older sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just she was 4 when we were born, so she'd already been going to church for years.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like we
follow
didn't know
the
anything
big
else.
sister's lead, and
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some things you did in the church growing up?
Yeah, we went to VBS every summer, and then Sunday school it was kind of fun in like 2nd and 3rd grade, I think. Our dad taught our Sunday school class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So that was fun. We were like, our dad's the teacher.
So you liked that?
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. I do think we had a little bit more pressure on us, though, when he'd ask a question.
We had to know.
Better know.
Because not many of the other kids sometimes, some of them hadn't grown up, going to VBS and everything, and, listening as much as we had. So it was like, do you know this Bible story that you've been taught before?
Better hope so.
Yeah, it was fun.
Grant Whittam used to be a handful when he was younger. So
Yeah.
Dad used to have to, discipline him, control his, antics.
Yeah.
So that was fun, which I don't know if many people remember that, because he's really
so
quiet now.
He's such a nice guy, yeah.
Yeah, he was really loud and,
all over the
disruptive.
place.
Oh, that's funny.
My dad was, the first,
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. We also, we were acolytes when we were younger.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much as soon as we could be.
Yeah. As soon as we got to that age, they were getting us in our blue robes. And
So what age was that? Do you remember?
8 or 9, I think. Yeah, pretty young.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember the candles were always so tall.
Yeah.
And so it's the flames, everybody's concerned. The worst was when the flame would go out.
Yeah.
Just be like,
what do we do?
someone help me.
Yeah, that is always something when we get the young kids, well, is that kid tall enough to reach it? And I feel bad for them, because you can't see that if you're that.
Yeah, and we, I don't even think I really understood candles, the wick. is what you're supposed to light when I'm like 7.
Sure. Oh, sure.
And so,
And you can't really see the wick up high.
it was always, they would keep the wick so short around the top, and so you'd have to like lift it to try and get that to catch on fire. And it was like, you're like, come on, can't you just like get that wick a little higher? Help us out a little bit. Yeah. But it was fine.
But I always liked, I felt really cool wearing the robes with the elders and stuff. Like
sitting
our
on the other
robe
side
with our cross necklaces. Yeah, sitting not with our family. Felt very special.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, these congregations, I mean, they have the acolytes wear a robe. Not all congregations do. And then also the servers, the elders wear robes, which is nice. So,
Yep. Yeah, I also, and then when I got into junior high, I think I ushered with my dad,
too. Really?
I didn't.
Oh, you did?
Nope.
Yeah, it was like after we went through first confirmation and then a couple years after when I was like older, because then I could take, or first communion, because then I could take communion with the rest of the ushers.
Okay.
And, Yep, so it's like me and my dad and Jeff
friends.
Wood. And,
okay.
Yeah, we were like the group of 4, and
Well, that's cool.
yeah, I felt very grown up, like in junior high. Yeah, that was back when we always had 4 ushers, like at every service.
2 on each side. There'd be like 2 in the aisles, and you would pass it around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a lot of an easier job, just
Standing at the
passing.
ends.
Yeah,
Yep.
because now they kind of have to walk back and forth a little bit.
Yeah. And then in 5th grade, we went into the youth group. Because that's what, when you would start, you'd get kidnapped by the older kids.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't
So
think they really
I can't
do that
remember
anymore.
who, was it Julia? Yeah, Julia Cardwell. When the Cardwells went here, she was, her and somebody else, I can't remember, they came to our house and like kidnapped us. They like put blindfolds over us and like tied up our wrists and took us to the
I feel
church.
like I remember like Rick Cardwell, her dad, like carried one of us into the car.
Oh my gosh.
We were like, and they would kind of not tell you where you were going, but
we knew because like Laura had gone through it and we knew it was coming and we were looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was like our initiation, and they brought you like upstairs and would keep the lights off. And
Yeah,
open the
say,
blindfolds
like,
and have like
candles
lights or something.
So they were like,
welcome to the youth group. It was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't done that for a few years.
No.
Yeah, we did it when we were in high school. We got to kidnap a couple of the kids. Like, I kidnapped Dominic Cardwell and Bill Millat, and
I did Kyler. Me and Colton Cable, we did Kyler.
Oh.
And we like duct taped him.
Oh.
His knees, his hands, like we had to hit the blindfolds on. Colton had to carry him into the church.
Because he couldn't walk.
When he got into the gym, he just laid him on the floor and started dragging him through the gym.
Yeah, some people went a little crazier than others, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah, Kyler was laughing the whole time.
Yeah, he knew what was going on too. But
He was
I
a
know
good sport.
when Colton was kidnapped, I think his sister Katie Cable went and did it, and they literally dropped him in a field and left him, and then came back later and picked him up. But they were like, "Bye." So some people went a little crazier than others, but it was fun.
Yeah, the youth group was definitely like a big part of.
It's a huge part of our because we were like kind of like the ringleaders that we were, and Haley, and then
trying to convince everybody to come to the events.
Yeah, Peggy would be like, "Work your magic, go get people to come," and so we'd start texting everyone and be like, "You better be there," or like, "We want you to come."
Yeah,
and they'd come, and
it's a good group of people.
Yeah, sounds exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, we had, there were a group of 6 of us that were in the same grade. It's me, Marissa, and Haley, and then Thomas Biddle, and then Lupe and Peyton were, and the 6 of us were like, we went to everything and carpooled, and like Peggy always knew the 6 of us were going to be there. And
yeah, it was mainly from confirmation classes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because Pastor Lehrman, he would have like overnights for confirmation. Like
We did retreats.
What's it called now? It used to be
Rainbow?
the Ark.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Converse.
Yeah.
We would like go stay there like once a year.
It was like once a month, wasn't it?
Well, we would have classes here like once a
Yeah.
month, and then once a year we would have like a full retreat out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We, like overnight.
that's where like the guys started, because we were always very
us and
chatty,
Haley, we were
close.
We were all close. Like ever since the Chabos started coming, like the three of us were very close, and we came to Sunday school every week and stuff. And so then when the guys started doing confirmation with us is when they were kind of like, oh, like this group is pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
because
where
we
all
play
got really
games
close.
on top of like learning, and we made
the Christmas ornaments.
Oh, for the
I was
tree.
talking about the banners when we were making all the banners and stuff. You remember doing that? We had like felt things in every lesson. We made like a felt like thing that represented what we had just learned, and
I forgot about those.
yeah.
About the Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, the ones that we use now. Yeah, we did do all of those.
Yeah, the ones that have like the beads on it.
Mhm.
Pastor Lehrman wanted to like make them look nicer,
Oh, okay.
and so he had us.
A lot of them
like,
were older and like
add beads.
ripping and stuff, so he bought an.
So there's
some
like
new
one.
ones.
There's this one bell that has one line
string
of
of
beads. It's because we ran out of time. Somebody, I can't remember who it was. One of us was gonna put beads all the way around it, but Pastor was like, "No, we don't have time." So if I don't know if you've ever noticed it, one of
On
the
the
ornaments has one singular string of beads on the full bell.
Yeah,
Because
and
we
it
ran
always
out.
seems to be on the right tree in front of where we sit. So every
so you
year,
get to see
Marissa
it
and I are
every
like,
year.
"Where's the one with the beads?"
Yeah, I use those during in Advent for the children's service
Yeah.
because they kind of are symbols, which are pretty cool.
Yeah. It was cool to learn
Yeah,
about each of them.
I think Pastor Lehrman like took the time and like told us what each of them meant and stuff when we were doing
Yeah.
it, which was cool.
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
Difference.
For sure.
Yeah, we did a lot in the
Yeah.
group.
Yeah. So now, who are some people that had a big impact on you?
Yeah, for the youth group, there's like so many at the church,
Yeah,
but
since we grew up here, like it's hard. I feel like everyone, because they
sure.
helped raise us.
literally,
Sure.
So many people here were like our extra grandparents, or our felt like aunts and uncles, and like our dad's friends are like uncles to us. And
yeah,
stuff
his
like
group
that.
of that he does his baseball trip with every year. They all like basically formed their group in church, and then Mike and Jane Klein are my godparents.
Okay.
So they've, obviously had a big part of our lives. And then that group that he goes on his baseball trips with is like literally
They're
like
always
our uncles,
checking in,
like
asking Dad how we're doing and
Mhm.
everything, and yeah. And then the Jervises, Tom and Janice,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
our secret pals
Oh, okay.
when we were in. I think they're doing it again, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where like in 5th grade when we got First Communion, that was when they like started
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
And we
That's
didn't know
cool.
who it was, and they would give us cards and like gifts for like birthdays and holidays.
They like leave them up on like in the narthex and stuff for us with our names
like above
on
the
them.
coat racks.
Oh, okay.
And then on our confirmation day, they like
when
were
you were, like,
revealed like we're
revealed.
your secret
Oh,
pals.
that's
So
cool.
Tom was mine and Janice was Marissa's, and
Which we had kind of figured it out because like they would get us very similar things.
yeah,
and
we were like, it
one
has to be a
had-
couple. Like
One had very like feminine handwriting. Andrea's, you could very much
I was
tell
like,
it
this is
was
a
like a man. So you're like, who could it be?
yeah, but it was really nice because they still send us cards for our
Oh, that's
birthdays
cool.
and like holidays every year, and obviously we see them whenever we come home and stuff, which is nice. And so
Yeah. So they've been super supportive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then obviously Peggy.
Yeah.
She like,
She ran the youth group.
yeah.
It's like we wouldn't have. It definitely wouldn't have been as much fun if she wasn't like
The one.
planning so
Planning
many things
everything.
for us, making sure we had stuff to do and people to take us places and all of that.
Yeah.
Roping us into things.
Yes, literally.
She's good at roping people in.
Yeah. She still does it
Yes, you
now.
are.
Yeah. She still tries to do it, I should say now, but
Yeah. But even when I went to Purdue, when she would be in town for her work or something, or like a football game, she would text me every time, and we would get dinner, or she'd invite me to her tailgates at the football games. Like,
she did that once for me, actually, at IU. Like, she happened my freshman year when Katie Shabo was still there. She happened to be going to Bedford, and she was like, "You guys want to get dinner?" And she was like, "Don't get used to this. I don't go down there very often."
Yeah, she's a Purdue person.
Yeah.
yeah, I saw her a little more frequently.
Yeah.
So she's always been really supportive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a ton.
Oh, yeah. The Shabos always sat next to us in church, and so that was always nice. And, you know,
the Hammockers were like
they
an
always
older
sat
couple that
behind
sat
us.
behind us.
Oh, okay.
I remember are they both?
I think they both passed away
now?
at this point, yeah.
But they sat there like our whole lives.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I remember them telling us like they met because he needed a date to the like movies or something, and he literally just got in their phone book and just picked a random
Seriously?
person.
Yeah.
And
She was like 16 at the time. Like, they were like young in high school.
It was their first like date ever.
Each of theirs. It was their first
That's
date.
hilarious.
And
That's
she was just like, sure.
Years. They never dated anybody else. It was like, insane.
Yeah. And they're just like the grandparents that sat behind you in church, and it was really nice, like growing up, you know, with them right there and everything. And I used to love we used to do like greet your neighbor. And as a kid, it was really fun because we'd just run around the church and give hugs to people around the church. Like,
it's like, how many people can
the
we
Cardwells, you know, the Cables,
before Pastor makes us stop.
Yeah, I think like the Sipes, we started like giving them like hugs and stuff, like Chris Sipes, and so Chris was another one. He actually got us like our first kind of real jobs at
really?
VIA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we had worked at Splash House many summers before that, but then like towards the end of our high school, we were like wanting to get something a little, you know, pays a little more, and she got her a position as a teller.
Yeah, I was a bank teller.
And my position basically was just like created for me, like so I did a lot of like I scanned a lot of their papers over to be digital for them, and he basically, any of the little tasks that they normally put off because nobody really wanted to do them, I did them for a couple summers, and
that's cool.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Like, you know,
he still like checks in with us, asks how we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot we can keep going and going and going. Like, that's kind of what happens though when you are basically born here.
Yeah.
Everyone's just so nice, and always. That's what's fun about like coming home is like we know we come on Sundays and everyone's gonna be like happy to see us, and
yeah, I've noticed that. For instance, when you guys come home and it's like a holiday when like the other
was here.
You guys really spend a lot of time with each other, which I mean, it speaks well because it's like, wow, okay, these kids really spent some time together growing up, and so
our youth group was like really tight, because it was, and which was really interesting because a lot of us, like, if we would have gone to the same high schools, we probably wouldn't have been in the same friend groups. Like, we all were so different, but then every Sunday, like evenings when we'd have youth group, we'd all. Marissa and I'd be texting everyone, you better be there, and then
we all
everyone
went to
would come
different
together.
High schools, like everybody went to different high schools.
Yeah.
I found that to be true. So youth group that Darla and I grew up in, we all came from two different high schools. But Darla and I have known each other since we were 13. We went to the same high school, never saw each other in high school. She was like in auto shop and all that stuff, and I was in other things, but we always saw each other at church. But we didn't hang out outside of church. So yeah, there is something unique about a church youth group that brings people together.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, it's like a second family, I felt like.
It was, yeah, like especially I would say our like group of 6, but then even more so, like all of the kids, like the Cables and the Stars, and you know, everyone who came, like they're literally like our brothers and sisters, like you know,
like younger siblings, because like we didn't have younger siblings. So they were like our little siblings. And then all the ones like Laura's age, they would look out for us and take care of us when we were
like Grace and Katie and
Julia.
Zach. And then
Biddle, Tiffany.
Tiffany,
Sealer.
Yeah. It was definitely like something really like important, and like we were really grateful that, because we knew a lot of places, like our high school friends that didn't really have groups, or their groups were so big that they had groups within the groups and stuff. Yeah. So ours was just like the perfect size that like everyone just loved each other, and we still love everyone, and so yeah, it was really nice. Mm-hmm.
Any interesting stories or funny anecdotes or anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, we had the National Youth Gatherings were always really fun.
So which one did you go to?
We went to 2.
Oh.
Yeah, we got lucky enough that it worked
you got
out.
That freshman, senior.
Yeah, so we went to New Orleans in 2015, and then Minnesota in 2019 or whatever, 16 and 19, whatever it was.
Yeah, Jasmine was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were in New Orleans, Colton was like, he became like the gumbo kid. Like, everywhere we went, he had to get gumbo, and he was just, or jambalaya, I can't remember which one it was, but it was like, he was known as like the gumbo kid.
And then it like got him sick one day.
Oh.
We were like, what do you expect?
Yeah, you're eating gumbo every day. Like,
it could cause some antacid problem after a while.
Yeah. And we always did like the fall festivals at Peggy's, where we paint pumpkins and stuff. And
Danny Sailors would get a trailer for the hay rides.
Yeah, he still does that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'd drive us around.
The boys would they'd sit at the front of the trailer, and we'd sit at the back, and they'd just throw hay, and then the wind would come back and hit us.
My first year, I got covered in hay. Yeah. I now farm that out to somebody.
Yeah.
But you'd have to be careful with the hay bales that they'd get for you to sit on, because there would be
by the fire
the biggest spiders I've ever seen.
Really? Oh my God!
Oh, huge! There was one big black ones.
There was one year it was really bad, and I think it was Grant with them. He started catching them and putting them in a cup, and he had like 10 in this cup.
He'd like show the cup to everyone, and they're all just like crawling on top of each other. Like, I'm gonna stand. I was like, I'm just gonna stand there.
I don't need to sit down.
Yeah.
I was like, at least they're in the cup, I guess, and not running around. But it was, that was gross.
Oh, and then we used to help Peggy decorate for Christmas. She'd like give us some money. She put some money in our youth accounts for us to like put up Christmas lights at her house.
Oh, okay.
And like set up her Christmas trees. And there was one year that we were there with Lupe, and she always made us the like Little Caesars pizzas that we'd buy.
Oh yeah.
And it was right after Thanksgiving, and she turned her oven on, and like a couple minutes later, her whole oven was engulfed in flames.
It like caught on fire. She was like, sometimes this happens.
No, she was.
Sometimes it's
She said she didn't clean out the grease from the turkey.
She had made for Thanksgiving.
That she made for Thanksgiving, so she thought that's why it just like caught on fire.
I was like, I don't clean it out enough.
So we have videos of her and Paul standing in front of her oven, just looking at it coming, just like, what do we do? Lupe's sitting there going, we're gonna die. It's gonna explode, and we're gonna die.
Just Christmas music playing in the background.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there were all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. We always at the lock-ins, we'd do lock-ins where we'd be here from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
And on Saturdays.
On a Saturday, and it was always fun playing sardines, like the game where one person hides, or a pair. Did we do it in pairs? Didn't we? And then everyone would try to find them, and if you found them, you hid with them.
Oh.
Yeah. And all the lights are off too, so it's completely dark.
Yeah, you turn off all the lights in the whole church, and we did it. You had to do it at night, so that way the rooms were like pitch black.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And there's one time, because the more we did it, the harder it was to find like places to hide.
Oh, sure.
Because everyone knew where the good places to hide were. And one year, me and somebody, I can't remember, I think it's like Haley or someone, we hid somewhere new that we had found. And like an hour and a half later, they're like screaming at us. They're like, "We can't find you! Like, you have to come out! Or like, somebody else needs to hide."
Yeah.
We're like, I guess our hiding place was
a little too good. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of really funny, good memories from youth group, and then every Christmas and also at VBS, they do a skit.
Oh yeah,
which we always got away with either being the narrator or like the set person, because we would just or not actors at all.
Oh,
yeah.
No,
don't like being on stage.
Because Peggy would like write a narrator part or whatever, and then it'd be funny watching like Haley and Lupe and Thomas.
And it was like Peyton and Thomas were so quiet. And then they would just like fully embrace their character.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So it was fun seeing like them just making fools of themselves, especially at VBS.
VBS, especially in front of kids.
Laugh.
Yeah, and Colton.
Like, who is that?
We'd go sit at their rehearsals and just be like, "I didn't even know you had this in you."
Yeah. So those were fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any big changes that you noticed through the years?
Yeah, there was a time like where it almost like in the middle of when we were going, it felt like there weren't as many people. You know, it felt like we were like, oh, you know, is this church like dying? We were kind of like, you know, getting nervous about, you know, whether or not enough people are going to be around for the church to open. But so it's been really cool, I guess, since you've come, has really been when people started coming back and like younger people started, more like college students and stuff started coming. So it's been cool to see like kind of like grow again. Yeah, and people are like excited about it again.
It's been a little odd because they just kind of walk in the door.
Yeah.
So it's like, where are you from?
Yeah.
And what was interesting is like we have a couple from Taylor, and they literally went to church in Toledo at the same church that Jasmine went to elementary school.
Whoa.
And the church was just down the road from us. I never knew them. Never met them, because they didn't actually go to the school, but they went to church there. And so I was like, we all knew the same pastors. So I keep track of them for their pastors. So. But yeah, I don't know. It has been kind of interesting how that.
It's nice seeing some kids around again.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like when we were like the little kids' age. The youth group that Laura was in was like huge. There were so many kids, and that was like the dream, you know. Us wishing we could go hang out with all of them, but they would say, "You're not in 5th grade yet."
Yeah, especially Laura.
Go downstairs.
You can't be in the youth loft. You're not in 5th grade.
So it was 5th through 12th in one group. That worked okay.
Yeah, they'd like split up the
Sunday,
like the Sunday school classes. Like the high school would stay in like the main room upstairs, and then like the fifth, like junior high, 5th through 8th would go in like the side classroom upstairs.
With Tom Shabo.
Yeah, he would. He's actually the main reason I know all the books of the Bible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Because he would tell us, like, if you can recite all of them to me, I'll give you a full-size candy bar.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And you do it every year. So 5th through 8th grade.
You can try it. And so
we would try it. I think it was like once a month you could try it. But he would give the same challenge once a year. And
that's interesting.
So by 8th grade, we were like, we got it.
See, I'm having the 6th graders now memorize books of the Bible. We even sent a video home. It's a song.
Yeah.
But I never thought about offering a full-size candy bar. Maybe
it's
that
good
might
motivation.
work.
I remember sitting like in the service with the table of contents trying to memorize it during the service.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta get these. And then we also learned like the songs and stuff, so that was helpful. But it was like I still usually like it's very helpful now when you're like in Sunday school or whatever, and they're like turn to
1 Kings,
and you're like singing this, reciting, going through all of them in my head. Like, where's this at?
Yeah.
It's interesting in Bible class, even sometimes with adults, that they can't do that. And so now we have these ESV Bibles that are all the same.
So you can just say like,
well, yeah, I don't like doing that
page?
though. I like people to try to find it.
Yeah.
But generally, somebody has to go with page 847. Like,
Yeah. Well, that was the thing is like before you'd go through like Tom's class or whatever, we'd just be like, look in the table of contents, and then you could get the general area and go from there. But then it was like, you should know the books of the Bible. We just recited them last week.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was good.
Any other memories you have or anything that?
Let's see, what else is there? Oh, the progressive dinners.
Yeah,
were always a huge thing. Mm-hmm.
That was like an event that we had these specific events that everyone would come to. Like we always knew, like those were the biggest events, and it was like the lock-in and
the fall festival, and then Christmas.
The progressive dinner when we would bring the presents to the Vernon Manor.
Oh yeah,
which was always really cool to see, like the wish tree, like seeing how many people. Like I don't think there were really any years. There's maybe a year or two where there was like 1 or 2 cards left that hadn't been taken, and we would take them, or Peggy or whoever, but most of the time, like every single one was taken, and the church would bring really nice gifts for everyone, and then we would get to like deliver them and then sing Christmas carols, which I think everyone was glad that at least like us and like Laura had pretty good voices that we could kind of sing a little louder.
And like it would depend on who started the song as to how high.
Oh yeah.
We had to ban Peggy because she started every song way too high, and then it'd be like just crumble.
It would be like out of reach.
So we'd be like, Peggy, you can't start any songs anymore.
Yeah, but that was really cool because since we did it every year, a lot of the kids that were at Vernon Manor knew who we were, and they would remember us, and like we would remember them and seeing them, like how excited they would get every year. And there was some kids that had favorite songs, so every year we would remember like, for this person we need to sing this song for them, and they'll get really excited. There was a guy, I can't remember what his name was, but he loved the Drummer Boy.
Oh yeah.
So every time we'd sing it, he'd like sing along with us, like do the drum part with us. You could just see like his face like light up as soon as we came in because he knew it was coming.
But it was one of those too that like, when you start going in like 5th grade, it's kind of intimidating. Just because you don't interact with like people with disabilities like to that extreme very often. So like. Especially when we started getting older and we were just used to it, I always remembered kind of being like encouraging to the younger kids that like, they're just happy that we're here, and, just sing, and you don't have to go over to them if you don't want to, but if you want to, some of them are happy to get a little like touch on the arm, and,
There was just one girl we had to like warn the guys about.
Oh, yeah.
Because she would walk around with us, and she was very excited. She'd always take somebody's song sheet, and Peggy would always say, like, if she takes it, just give it to her. Let her keep it, because, like, it'll make her very happy. But she always had a thing for the guys. So she'd find 1 or 2 that she was into, and she would like scoot herself back to stand next to them and then stand there and just watch them sing. So we had to, and you could kind of tell who she would probably go for, so we were like,
we'd warn them ahead of time.
Zach, you know what's coming. She's gonna be here.
And it's funny seeing too, like the guys that were more okay with it, and the guys who were kind of like, what's happening? Like Grant was always one that was like stiffened. We'd just be laughing at him, like, just sing with her.
And then we would go to all the different houses for the meals. We would go to one place for a salad, and then a main meal, and then dessert. And I feel like the salad and the dessert usually changed, but the main meal was usually at our house.
Oh, okay.
Because
with our dad's lights.
Dad's Christmas lights. We would always have everybody come and see those. But it was like, the way our house is set up is like kind of hard to fit a bunch of people in one space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Dad would put like a plywood on top of the pool table to like sit around to have more places to eat, but it's like you can't put your legs anywhere.
So you're like crouching around this table trying to eat. And then maneuvering around people to go get food and stuff. And then we'd all sit in the living room and do like a gift exchange. Like, I forgot. You'd have to bring, it was like $5 to $10. A lot of people brought like candy, but some people would bring like toys or like joke, like little games or whatever. And Peggy would read a story. And it was like Mr. Right and Mrs. Left Christmas or whatever, or something like that. And so it was like every time she said the word right in the story, you'd pass it to the right, and every time she said left, you'd pass it to the left. Okay. So that was always fun. Because everyone would get like, super confused. Like, did she just say right? What'd she say? Which way are we going? And it was like, because it would go so fast, like, and it would be just like, in the flow of the sentence, the word be like, right and she was right there, and then he left, and then you're like, wait, I think she said left. So we're all just sitting there, like, shoving presents to each other. And then there was then you could steal the gifts after the story was done. It was like, each gift would have, like, 2 steals or whatever, so you could tell which gifts were, like, a hot commodity, because everybody would have their eyes on the different presents. So I think that was my like favorite event of the year. Mm-hmm. Like the progressive dinners. Yeah. And singing.
So how has St. James impacted your faith walk?
Yeah, I think it's like one of the biggest things was just like having such a big support system and stuff. Like since we just kind of grew up in the church, you know, it was like kind of routine, but then also seeing how many people were like supporting us and, you know, having like the secret pals and having like Tom Shabo and Joe Chambers and Matt Mindock like teaching our Sunday school classes and everything. It was just like so many people to look up to and stuff was really nice.
Yeah, a lot of really good role models, which made it a lot easier when I went to college. Grace would she also went to Purdue.
Oh, okay.
And she was in pharmacy, so she, like, technically she's 4 years older, but she was in her 5th year when I was a freshman.
Okay.
Because the pharmacy school there is 5 years. And she, like, pestered me into going to the church that she went to there.
Oh, okay.
She went to University Lutheran on campus.
Oh, yeah. I've been at Purdue.
Yes,
yeah,
at Purdue,
I've been there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know, like, I don't really know if I'm going to go. And she would drag me there, on certain Sundays, and she would go and sit with me, and it was one of those things where, like, I honestly don't know if I would have gone by myself to start out.
Sure.
Because just wasn't something I did freshman year. I wasn't really one, especially doing everything with her our whole lives. It was,
because you guys went to 2 different colleges.
Yeah,
so
that was
like
the
first time we were like fully on our own, which was nice, but
it was it ended up being like really good, but it was kind of hard to like force myself to do things by myself.
I understand.
So when she graduated or like left for her residence, I don't know what it's called, but like when she went
clinicals.
Yeah. And I was by myself, it was nice that she had like set the groundwork for me, and she obligated, like she signed me up to join the church council. She was like, I'm leaving and someone needs to take my spot, so I'm nominating you. You have to do it. And I was like, and they emailed me and were like, do you want to do this position? And I was like, I feel like I can't say no to the church. So I joined it, and it actually ended up being like a huge part of like being at Purdue for me. Because I was on the council, they wanted us to go to like 2 Bible studies a month. And then like at least like 2 Sundays, like if you could. So then I felt almost more obligated at the start, because I was like, if I'm on the council, like I don't want to disappoint, like I feel like I should follow the rules. But then it became such like a routine and such like a big part, and I met a lot of friends there, and that church was like, it almost felt like home. Like it gave me like a connection back to home, because it was like a traditional Lutheran church,
right?
So I could hold on to like the Sunday services that I always went to growing up. So that was like a huge part of how I like stayed connected in like going to church and like my faith. Like I don't think I would have, if it wasn't for Grace, and then also for like the background that we had and everybody home, because every time we come home we would once a year we would go to dinner with Joe Chambers.
Oh, you know what
Yeah.
he says? You guys going to church?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I was like, so who's found their church? Are you guys going anywhere? And I would always be able to say, I am. I'm out also on the council, and I go to Bible study. and he would, he'd make me feel better about it. Not that that's why I was doing it, but it was a little perk. I didn't have to be like, yeah. So definitely, yeah. And now I go to Cornerstone Lutheran in Carmel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go to the one in Carmel. Okay.
I go to the one in Carmel, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I go to the traditional service there, which like stemmed from, going to church here and then University Lutheran, and now like it's like I can't imagine not going to church.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Sure.
To have that to like kind of ground me, keep me focused.
So you're in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I live in Indianapolis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where?
I'm in Bloomington still.
In Bloomington. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to. That was the one thing about the Lutheran church on my campus is when I went to Marissa's, I was like, I see why you got so connected through this church, because Allison Everett recommended my ULU down in Bloomington, but it wasn't. You didn't get that community feel, which is something that I love about our church, and it's like one of my favorite things about our church is it is like family, like community. New people walk in, and usually our mom is the first one to walk up to them and be like, "Whoa, you're new!
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here?"
Your mom and Dave Aaron.
Yes.
Are always
Yeah, and it's it's always like that growing up, like and everything. So.
Yeah, that's really true about this church. I mean, I've never been in a church that said, "Well, we're unfriendly." But and most are friendly, but this congregation really uniquely is, and there is that community built in that people generally. And when I came in, you kind of come as a pastor, you kind of look at things for a while, and I thought to myself, well, whatever I do here, the one thing I can't mess with is that community feeling, because that is like the big gun here for I mean, as far as what is why people come to this church and stay.
Yeah, because like it's harder to stay when you're not involved.
Exactly.
Which I think that's, like I said with you, Lou, that's why I kept going, because I was involved. I ended up council, and then I was also like one of the people that helped set up communion and stuff. And here, like, it feels like everybody's a part of something.
Yeah.
And if you're not, like somebody's going to ask you to volunteer. It's really hard not to be part of something here.
Yeah.
Which I think is, like, a huge deal. And it, like, helps you meet people and connect, but also, like, stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is really nice.
Yeah, we were really lucky that we just happened to be born in such a nice church.
Yeah.
It was,
Do you have any, what hopes do you have for the future of the congregation?
It'd be cool to see it like continuing to grow. Like, I'm sure a lot of people have been saying that, but it, like I said, it was really nice, like coming back and seeing like so many people we didn't know. Like, obviously coming back and seeing all the people we knew was really nice. But then I'd be like, Mom, who are they? I've never seen them before. Like, when did they start going? And they're like, they just became members last week. Stuff like that. And so it's cool to kind of see it, continuing to grow. Because, like I said, it's one of the nice things about coming home is coming back to it. And so, if we could keep doing that, since our parents are going to be here forever.
Yeah, that's probably what I would say too. Because I feel like everything else, like, is good here.
Yeah, there's not much you would change.
The best thing for it would be to, like, be able to keep doing it. Like, keep bringing more people. Let everyone else have the same. I let all the kids have the same childhood that we did.
Yeah.
Grow up with something like that.
Yeah, I like seeing so many kids up there for, like, King's Kids Time and stuff.
We have this bizarre thing. We kind of had a bunch of high school kids go through, and then very few. But then we've got this little group, about 6th grade, 5th grade, down to preschool. It seems just like, and they're consistent. And then we've got some of them have brought in other people that aren't actually members, but come.
Are coming,
so,
yeah.
And we can, and if people are coming here, we consider them members.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
so, yeah, there's potential there. It's been a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's always one of my favorites when, especially like the Wallace boys, whenever they like answer one of the questions, or like Allison's son and the West kids, whenever they like answer one of your questions, I just feel so proud.
Yeah.
Like you're just sitting there like, oh, you're so smart. Yeah. We used to do King's Kids Time. You know, I always remember it when we were little, but they always had different people from the congregation leading it, and so
the main one I always remembered was
Mike Klein.
Oh.
He always would crack jokes. And,
Yeah, he'd make it funny, and
yeah,
and of course, you know, with him being so close with our family, it was like,
Sure.
you know, our uncle being up there teaching us a Bible story.
yeah.
So it's fun, you know, especially since we still do the song that we used to sing when we were 5.
Yeah,
the
I never heard that song until I got here. That's a pretty cool song.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
I think they stopped doing it for a little bit, and that was
They
We were
did.
like, oh.
they brought it back.
Because they weren't doing it when I got here, and so they said, "Well, let's do this song." I went, "What song are you talking about?" And I said, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sounds good."
Sure.
Yeah, it's nice when the kids are running out too, because then it's not just like quiet.
Silent.
Right.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Anything I didn't ask you, or anything you wanted to add, or?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talked a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
It's always fun to reminisce on
Yeah.
such a big part of our lives.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for 75th anniversary conversations, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.
Walking these streets, shadows fall, lost in a world, echoes call, searching for life, voices true, St. James Church in the heart of the blue. Glorify God, nurture all, share the gospel, hear the call. That is what we do at St. James, breaking chains, singing new names, pushing through the night, feeling small, seeking the answers stall, windows of gray, stained with hue, where mission shines through. Glorify God, nurture all, share the gospel, hear the call. That is what we do at St. James, breaking chains, singing new names. Heartbeats pounding, truth revealed in the silence, wounds are healed, faith in motion, spirits move. In this place we find our groove. In the dark